pause. What's going on, everyone? Happy Black History Month and so on. Because oh my goodness, a friend of mine was just telling me that she was just turning her home from white and beige, and I because her soon to be ex husband is just like liking too much white, and I was just like, wow, that's not racist at all. Of course not. It's just anyway. That's an awkward joke for you guys. So that part.
I don't like that you have to out me like that. I just don't like that you have to out me like that.
It's Michael's reaction for me.
Can we get to the beautiful bean footage? Can we get
Can we get to the beautiful bean footage?
All
Yeah,
right,
let's
we will
get to the beautiful
bean footage. But hey, it's been forever. I am glad to see everybody and
Marie's back.
Yay,
and our
Marie.
viewers. We are going to take a look at the final trailer for Star Trek Picard and all of that gloriousness. And that is what we're going to spend the hour doing. So, beautiful bean footage.
So, who we have here today? We have Marie, we have Michael, and we have Keith. As predicted, we are slightly above a skeleton crew. We have some Keith today. Because Keith and I literally talked about this last week, and I low-key threw shade at some people, but I won't call them out. But I literally
I was sick!
Oh, no, not you, Marie, not you. No, me. Like,
Okay.
I threw shade because I'm sitting here going like, at least Marie said she was sick. We didn't know Michael's working. So Manny's on the other side of the world.
Hey, Manny came in. Manny was on the last
He did
week.
come in. He did come in later on. So I made a joke saying that we are on the battle bridge and we're the night shift of the skeleton crew. That's how it was, just me and Keith. That's just how it was. But anyway,
Shit, man. Like we're Gamma.
Right?
Gamma shift.
Gamma shift.
Ensign Harry Kim's in the captain's chair. Yes.
So this
We're all going to die.
Right? Oh, we're all going to die. I like
That
that.
is literally the definition of desperation.
Right.
Yeah.
So
somewhere Garrett Wong is getting angry and he doesn't know why.
Did you watch last week's 90 minutes? We talked about nothing.
We literally talked about nothing for an hour and a half. And it was beautiful because it was a great conversation.
But today we actually have legitimate stuff to talk about.
Yes.
We have
Hello to the 5 people.
We have a really rich trailer. I have to admit, I've only watched it once. I am in the minority on this one because I've only watched it once. But there's a lot going on. Who wants to start the breakdown?
I mean, we can go by we can go by photo and just pretty much talk about what's going on because I pretty much screenshotted every.
Just real quick, it's not. The main thing is the trailer, but we also have news because there was.
We do have news.
Paramount. There was a Paramount Plus announcement this week. Be prepared to pay more for that, and
I know.
And unfortunately, we have lost a member of our Star Trek community this week.
Oh.
So, and in fact, what's amazing is that actress whose very first on-screen credit was an episode of Star Trek Enterprise, and her very last on-screen credit was an episode of Star Trek Picard.
Oh, yeah.
So, but let's take care of this trailer first.
I was so looking at.
Start with the news first.
We
might as well get all of the bad news out at once. All right, so we did lose Annie.
I was literally pulling a photo. Here we go.
Okay.
Here she is. Because I ain't gonna lie, that shook me. Gotcha. Okay. How do you say her last name, Marie? Wershing. Okay, here she is. Yeah. So when I got this news, it's like it hit. I mean, it hit me to where my eyes like slightly watered. It's just like I just met you though, and it's like. Well, to other people, they've known her for a pretty long time.
To be fair, her Borg Queen was one of the few highlights of season 2.
Oh, she was fantastic as Borg Queen.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here going like, one thing that I can say about Trekkers Delight, they know how to rip apart season 2, but they know better than to talk shit about Borg Queen because she did that. She did that. Ain't no one had nothing bad about to say about a Borg Queen. She did that. Like.
I mean, it was great. She was a great actress. It was a very well played part. It was she really embodied the full essence and carried on, I think, from the movies, kind of that same feel. And it's always interesting when you can have a character like played by different people and it still have that same fire, that same oomph in it. And so it was very special.
Yeah. So she passed away. What kind of cancer was it? Does anyone know?
I don't.
I do not.
All I saw was cancer. I didn't see them listing what type.
The only thing that I know is she didn't exactly hide it, but she, even while she was playing as the Borg Queen here, she had it then.
Yeah.
And she had been fighting it similar to Chadwick. Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Chadwick Boseman. He concealed his like entirely, but he plowed through 4 movies, I think, while he had it as quickly as he could, and still managed to keep it secret. I don't know how open Annie's news was with her condition, but
she was diagnosed in 2020, so that was just as season 1 of Picard was coming out. So she knew this as she was filming.
So she figured, what the hell?
And I mean, she had been in Runaway. She had been on a 24.
Right.
She had this extensive TV background, but this was her. She realized that she wasn't going to have much time left, and when Picard came calling, she jumped at it.
I mean, hell, like,
and she just owned that role. I mean, we've had 3 Borg Queens now: Alice Krige, Susanna Thompson, and Annie Wershing. And Alice Krige, of course, being the originator, is fantastic. Susanna Thompson was kind of just a fill-in because Alice wasn't available. But Annie really was a different kind of Borg Queen, which was to be expected because different timeline, different, alternate universe. But she so took the role, and this was fantastic with it. Both in when she was the real half-bodied Borg Queen, and also when she was the psychic image in shoot, I'm blanking on her name. Alison Pill's character.
Yeah.
When she was
Girardi.
Yes.
Girardi.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she was she was basically her psychic friend.
Yeah.
Friend might be a stretch. Frenemy, man.
Frenemy, yeah.
There's some Mean Girls action going on.
So 45 years old, far too young.
Oh,
that's terrible.
It's
a husband, 3 children.
Yes, 3 young children at that. It's just devastating all around.
It's like every January, someone just has to go, and it just
can we just not jinx it anymore? Like seriously,
seriously.
Definitely. No one is allowed to say who they don't want to die because then you're jinxing. So yeah.
So what are we hearing out of Paramount Plus? How much more are we going to pay?
Okay.
Paramount Plus.
Well, they haven't given us the price yet, but Showtime is no more. The Showtime streaming service is going away. Everything that was on Showtime is being dumped into Paramount Plus, and there's going to be the new Paramount Plus on Showtime tier of Paramount Plus, and we can expect all of the prices to go up because of this. So this
I thought it was going to be. It's going to be Showtime on Paramount Plus, or
no.
So it's just the content of Showtime.
My understanding is that Showtime is owned by Viacom, which is now the parent company of Paramount, Nickelodeon, and all of that.
Yeah.
So what they're doing, basically what they're doing is they're rolling all of their streaming services onto Paramount Plus as the platform, which is a life choice.
Hello, a bad one at that.
It's a life choice. It's a decision that's being made.
Well, it's a question of which has the better UI, the current Showtime's channel or the Paramount Plus channel. I mean, I never used the Showtime channel.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Paramount Plus has some issues.
The article I read, I thought it said that, well, it said Showtime was being subsumed by Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
And so I figured it would be like Paramount Plus presents Showtime versus Showtime or Paramount Plus on Showtime.
It's now Paramount Plus with Showtime.
Okay.
So is it like a bundle thing like they did with Disney and Hulu? Is it like that?
Well, no. Okay.
No.
Hulu was originally a conglomeration. It was founded by ABC, Fox, and NBC all put in together to create Hulu.
Right.
And then over time, Disney bought ABC, Disney bought Fox, NBC went out on their own. And
Bel Air.
Which is why now we have Peacock.
Yeah, now we have Peacock. And Hulu became sort of this other channel while they were creating Disney Plus, and now they don't quite know what to do with it. So, I mean,
I would actually argue that Hulu is basically the repository for all the things that they don't want to put on Disney Plus for PR image reasons.
Right now they got hockey and soccer, so
so it's kind of like, so basically it's kind of like there's Disney and Disney's porn holdings, and there's Disney Plus and Hulu.
Yeah.
That's not a joke, actually. Dan Eisner actually invested a significant amount of Disney's revenue into porn studios.
Well, porn studios was the main push on getting VCRs.
Yep.
And pushing
and actually, everybody was looking at whether or not porn was going to go with Blu-ray or DVD.
HD DVD.
HD DVD.
Yeah.
And porn went Blu-ray, and that's why we have Blu-ray.
Porn went VCR, and that's why we have that, not Betamax.
Mm-hmm. No, but basically, if you're looking for the canary in the gold mine as to which is how this is going to go,
right.
You look at porn.
Yeah.
Which is not a conversation I expected to be having tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to review a Picard trailer.
It is not
a question of adult. This is actually really interesting.
But yeah,
so anyone that wants to save money, just go to Twitter. Okay.
Okay. So what we had happen was we had this remerger, bringing back together Viacom and CBS and everything, and now Paramount Global is the name of the company, at least overseeing its networks. And they've this is just the latest ripple from that merger now 2 years ago. We had, because it was CBS All Access, and then they merged, and that brought everything together on Paramount Plus with the rebranding of that. And now Showtime's brought in. And it was Nickelodeon was brought in, then Showtime is brought in, and pretty much every asset they have in their portfolio is now being dumped onto Paramount Plus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which at least makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. But my prayer, listen, Paramount, I know you're watching. I know you hear us. Please upgrade the user interface. That is all we ask.
I just want it so that when I'm watching an episode and I finish it, and then I leave and come back the next day, I go to put on the next episode. I would rather like to go to the next episode and not back to the last 5 minutes of the episode I finished the day before.
That's a thing?
Yes. Every damn time.
And it also does not get like the when you're actually watching a show to like either change to like, let's say you're watching like, oh, I stopped at episode 3. You go to episode 3 and it's like, no, I want to get to episode, actually I think I'm 2 episodes ahead of this, I want to go to 5. You have to go back like 3 screens to the main. It's very inconvenient. Like, just copy Netflix's shit.
Well, and plus, like, let's say you've watched through an entire season of a show and you want to go back and watch it again. For some reason, when it goes to load the next episode, it starts at the end credits.
Yes. because it's like, oh yeah, you already watched this. No, I want to rewatch it. It's Star Trek.
Yes,
Come
I
on.
know I've watched Strange New Worlds 3 times through. I'm watching it again, damn it, and you can't stop me.
Stop judging me.
Netflix
I feel so
No,
sad.
Netflix does judge you.
Oh, that's
Netflix
true.
does judge you.
Speaking of
Are
Netflix,
you still watching?
Speaking of Netflix, what the hell? Like,
yeah, Netflix screwed themselves big time this week. Yeah.
Are you? I mean, like seriously.
You're talking about
Like, here's the thing. This is what gets me. Because at first, because I'm all for you trying to do what you can to save your money, but this is just pure greed. Because this is pure greed. Because now you're telling me that probably family counts are probably going to be the thing of the past now, because they have to be on the same Wi-Fi interface. Like it has to be on the same one. Are you crazy? So you mean to tell me that if I pay $27 a month for a family account for 5 different people and they live in 3 different places, only one of them can watch? Go to hell. I don't give 2 shits, one fucker, half a damn. I go to hell. I'm sorry. That's stupid. No.
It's just funny. Remember a few months ago when we were talking about how all the movies for some reason left Paramount Plus?
Mm-hmm.
They were on Netflix, as was most of the shows, and then they jumped to Paramount Plus, and then they left Paramount Plus. Now they're on HBO Max, which is funny because HBO Max just took 28 of their shows off of HBO Max, including their own original programming is no longer available anywhere. Westworld is gone.
This right here, William. This is why I still have my Blu-rays. Because I do have all of the films on Blu-ray.
I have every I've never fully embraced myself in Blu-ray, but I have a Blu-ray player and I have like hundreds of Blu-ray do they call it with Blu-ray discs? I was going to say DVDs.
So does that mean somebody here has Picard season 1 and 2 on Blu-ray?
No, it does not.
No one's made that order yet?
Not yet. No. I'll get it at some point.
Well,
I'll get it after the season's over.
Well, I was about to say we'll have to watch season 3, and then we can decide if we want to get it on all 3 together on Blu-ray.
What I probably want to do is get the whole series. Yeah.
Right.
I'll get the Steelbook Blu-ray.
We need to buy this Blu-ray. What this trailer looking like?
And it better be a steel case.
I see you trying. I see you trying here.
You're trying so hard, Michael.
I'm trying. I said 2 minutes.
However, yeah, I mean, I think it is actually going to be an interesting thing to do. I have reservations about season 3. Some of that's because I was burnt so badly by season 2.
Fair.
My reservations for season 3 are this. I think, and I talked a little bit about this in my article today. Star Trek has both done this whole idea of taking older characters and bringing them into a new context, both well and poorly. I would argue that Strange New Worlds and Relics specifically are examples of Star Trek doing this really, really well. I would argue that introducing Spock in Discovery was terrible.
You mean Unification Part 3?
No, I mean bringing Ethan Peck. And I want this clear. I do not have any problem with Ethan Peck's Spock. I think he has done an amazing job with a younger Spock. I really do. But why did we have to have Spock in Discovery season 2?
Crazy Spock at that.
Yeah, why? Because there really wasn't anything that having Spock as a character added to that we couldn't have had with a different character.
I would agree with that. But you know the concern. There's always the concern of the old guard that's like, hey, I need to see this backstory, or I need to see somebody from the original. They needed an anchor. They felt they needed an anchor. I agree with you. I think it could have been accomplished with another character. Like, agree wholeheartedly. But they felt like they needed an anchor, and Spock is always a great anchor in Trek.
Well, absolutely. But it was literally introducing this character as a way to pull older fans in, because Discovery season 1 had tested so poorly with
all of us. But
not all of us.
I did not like season 1. I'm sorry.
Season 1 was like okay, I see what you tried to do there, but I'm ready for season 2.
I literally like.
And then we got season 2, and we were like, all right, you're still trying to figure this out. And then we got to season 3.
I literally like season 1 of every other new Trek show that is out except for Discovery. Like, because I'm just like, what is that? What's that? Who is that?
Season 1 of Voyager. It just sort of ends. It doesn't have a final episode of season. Just ends.
Season 1 of Enterprise.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, so let's get to this.
So I do have real questions because what I really want to see Trek do that is something a different star-driven franchise doesn't do well is basically take these characters and show us something new with them. And I think that's going to be very difficult given that we have known them for how many years of our lives?
30.
And the shots that I'm seeing in this trailer basically seem to be boiling these characters down to the least common denominator. Like, for example, we have Deanna Troi talking about the darkness. So what are we getting? Like, Deus Ex Troi again, where she doesn't get to be a real character. She gets to be like the magic MacGuffin over in a corner.
Well,
and then of course we get like, and I'm so very tired of, by the way, of hearing there is a darkness, something is coming. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
something is always coming. Right? I love that line for Geordi. I love that line for Geordi. It's always life and death, Jean-Luc.
I can't tell
what I love that he called him Jean-Luc too. That
right? Like Geordi is done.
I mean, he was done. He was done in Timeless. Like, did y'all see that meme where you saw the side-by-side image and it was literally the same thing? Like, he was pissed in that one too. So it's like either way.
Like, like kudos to that. I'm finally. Also, are we getting a Vulcan Worf?
Pacifist.
I think that was a joke. I'm pretty sure that was a joke. Like,
I used to be violent and illogical. Did you now?
He told one joke in Deep Space Nine.
No. He told several.
But I think
he was hilarious in Deep Space Nine.
I mean, yeah, to us he's hilarious, but to any non-Trekkie, like they'd be like, was that supposed to be a joke?
He had some killer one-liners in Deep Space Nine.
Yes.
Like seriously, he had more killer one-liners than he had killer fights in Deep Space Nine.
But I feel like so to that point, and I'll tie this back in, not getting too far from this trailer. In DS9, they took Worf and they were like, okay, he is now off of a starship, because if you remember the conversation that he had to have with Odo about security, it was like, okay, you can let your hair down a bit. You're actually on a starbase. You're not flying around and have to have the stick up your butt on Enterprise. But this kind of, I think, actually ties in a little bit because, part of his...
And yet this is the debut of Ponytail Worf.
Right. But part of...
Ponytail Worf before.
We did.
Season 6.
Honor and violence and always being the perfect officer was focused on the fact that he was on a ship. So after being on a station where he got to be humanized, now entering Picard season 3, he's like, nah, I'm chill Worf. I don't need to go and fight and be a security officer anymore. I'm just cool. So I think I can see a tie-in, and I see a transition as somebody who used to be a lot more, let's say, active when I was younger.
Are we hearing confessions of like an angry Michael?
Yes.
Also, I gotta tell you though, I really like the whole like Worf aesthetic. Like, what are we getting with these silver foxes, guys? Like, that is fire. That look is fire.
I mean, they did a good job.
Fantastic, yes.
Is that the same head low? Did they keep it?
I mean, yeah, they have to pick the same.
It looks similar. It looks pretty similar, yeah.
For how much they used it, yeah. But
I mean, I can't imagine that they destroyed it, or either that, or somebody has been watching it copious amounts of TNG, going, "All right, that ridge is there." God, that would be awful.
Oh wow.
Well, just knowing what we know of these characters from, we got a little bit in Picard season 1 of what the Rikers were up to since Nemesis, but we know far more about Worf because we got 3 seasons of him on
Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine, the movies, and he's been referenced in the books and the comics in a way that is considered a canon. So we know that Post-war, he went to be the ambassador of the Federation of the
Right.
Klingons.
Right.
Hated it. Got out
Well-
of there as soon as he could. Ended up back in Starfleet as first officer on the Enterprise E under Picard. And then when Picard gets promoted to admiral, he becomes captain of the Enterprise.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see if we still keep that as canon.
Well, considering that's in the book that was written as the tie-in to season 1, The Last Best Hope.
So the question is, who
but
is the
also-
captain of the Enterprise F? Because apparently it's been in
Well-
service for a minute. It's what it suggests.
It's hinted that it could be Worf.
And now we're going to have our Captain Worf
Because
show.
in this trailer, we have Worf talking over the when you hear him talking, they show the Enterprise F. So I mean, it's kind of a one-to-one connection there.
But there is a moment where there's a captain and he's talking to Picard and he's like, this is not the yes.
That's the captain of the Titan.
That's got to be the captain of the Titan because
That is, yes.
Mm.
Todd.
I think he's going to die.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna die.
He's definitely
yeah.
going to die.
He's
Him
dead
dead.
already.
Him dead already.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
were-
see red there or yellow, but like, yeah.
He is literally like the first officer on Voyager. He's just gonna die. Some console is gonna explode and get him good in the middle of a joke, a bad joke.
I mean, seriously.
Listen,
I mean, you know what he's talking about? How there's not going to be any firefights, blah blah blah. We're like, ooh,
Yeah, you're dead.
you have just gotten sacrificed on the altar to Roddenberry, man. Like,
Like, dude, are you serious right now? Like,
It's
you really?
obvious he's never watched The Next Generation. He's only watched the movies.
right?
So let's take it from the top here. Yeah.
Okay.
So Riker and Picard board the Titan A, and they are greeted by Seven of Nine or Annika Hansen. But we're
First
I'm gonna assume
officer.
First officer. So about 2 years.
Even if she goes by, even if she's going by Annika this season, like she's 7. Let's just
She's
embrace
7.
that now.
She's 7.
I am too old to change, guys. too old.
And her pronouns are the.
And her pronouns are I Borg.
And by the way, they stopped calling it the Neo Constitution class. It's now the Constitution 3 class.
Oh,
So
this-
it's the third
Oh my God,
iteration
that's
of
so
the
much
Constitution
better.
class.
That's so much
Okay.
better.
So
They-
I mean,
they released-
anytime somebody starts talking about Neo such and such, I get really uncomfortable.
Yeah, Doug Drexler
Neo-
got the picture of the plaque from the Titan and put it out there. But it's Constitution 3. When you consider the original Enterprise we saw in the original series, that's Constitution 1. The refit that we saw for the movies, that's 2, and this is 3.
Cool. So we get a slight redress of the what's it called? The other
The Stargazer.
Thank you, the
bridge,
Stargazer. We get a slight redress. I'm guessing they go to the captain's quarters after getting on the ship. And
Oh no, that's probably. That's the
mess hall.
mess hall or the captain's mess. Yeah.
I'm guessing that this is the captain.
Because it's got to be the captain's mess, which I didn't know that.
Why can't I find his name? Todd. something.
Although with the creation of here's a Manny question. Culturally speaking, with the creation of replicators and in quarter replicators, do we think we have a captain's mess anymore?
I
Well,
don't
we did in
know.
Voyager, and-
we had on Voyager, but she turned it into a mess hall when they were, like stranded. So
No. Her mess was taken over by Neelix to be his kitchen.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Neelix just said, "This
Yes.
is what we're gonna do."
Yes.
Yeah, she went in there to have dinner and found Neelix cooking.
Right.
And was all kinds of pissed off.
And I would just also reference in Enterprise, the captain's mess isn't just for the captain; it's also that opportunity to kind of be that formal.
Oh yeah.
No, it's
With
an entertaining.
Archer
It's an
did have
entertaining
captain's
space.
mess.
is what it is.
Entertaining space. There we go. Thank you for taking my words. I needed
So,
that.
The actor's name is Todd.
I'm gonna say I'm
Strachey.
giving you words. I'm trying real
Oh,
hard not to take shit. Like,
Let me say. I didn't. That didn't come out right. Finding my words for me.
That
Right,
just
so-
crashed.
Okay, so yeah, that
Yep.
looks like the ship that we are, the Helios, which we're told is Crusher's ship, which is not a Starfleet ship, and it looks like it is crashing into the Titan. And of course, this is right after he said there's not going to be any crashes or explosions. So,
I mean,
Yeah, but
so
we knew that
know
was gonna happen.
We
Oh,
knew
yeah.
that ship was destroyed. So,
but by the way, the actor's name is Todd Stashwick, and he had previously been in 12 Monkeys, the TV show, in which was run by Terry Matalas, the current showrunner for Picard. So this is a buddy of his that he's brought in.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing what he does, and I hope we get a little bit with him before he gets sacrificed on the altar of Roddenberry.
Yeah.
Oh, we know he's gonna go. Like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, we know, but I would like to see him a little bit before he goes.
I mean,
Also,
there he is, there. There he is.
I'm
right
really,
there in the
really
middle.
loving, by the way, like the redesigned corridors.
Yeah, I like
Really,
it.
really loving.
It actually gives room for 2 people to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it looks less like you're walking. It looks less like you're walking in an office building
or a hotel.
Yep.
A very.
It
nice
definitely
New
looks
York
like
hotel.
it's a ship. Yeah, ship hallway. It's more kind of like what they did with Enterprise, where they tried to make it look like a submarine.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I kind of miss the fluorescent lighting. Like I am probably
It got real quiet.
Do not take this the wrong way, Michael, but I gotta tell you, like, of all the people here, I would not have expected you to be the one to miss the fluorescent lighting, because nobody looks good under fluorescent lighting.
I look great under any light, but
well, some of us who are both old and pasty as fuck, it is not great.
I changed my life so damn fast. I was like, oh shit. oh shit. Oh god.
no, I don't know. It's something like I
There's only so much foundation can do, my friend. Only so much.
OMG. But I really hate that like there's this new like style in Trek is the dark lighting. Like I like a bright screen. I like the lift me up, give me some.
That's
I
all
you gotta,
movies
you,
and
you
television
gotta do
right
something
now.
to relax your eyes.
Right.
You know?
I mean, yeah.
Did you watch the Batman? There's like only like 2 scenes that turned on the light.
I mean, yeah.
Are we talking the Arpats like bowl cut movie?
Honestly, after the
Yes.
JJ
I literally
Abrams-
I saw that on a plane and I could not actually see what was going on. I was just like, I have my glasses on and everything, but I kind of want to like shine a light. I'm like, I mean, I'm kind of over here like, hey, yo, Zack Snyder, I understand that you're all about the grim dark, but can that be a little less literal because I cannot see shit?
You know what? I feel like this all started with Game of Thrones.
Oh no, it predates that.
Yeah.
I just blame Game of Thrones for a lot of things that I think are Thrones for a lot of things are.
I mean, and you should. Game of Thrones really, really did reshape a lot of how we do things. Like everything from like the intro and the outro to this idea that everything's got to be grimy. And we're just not going to talk about the misogyny and how, that came back in force.
Here we go. So it's a Paramount Plus original, and you see that we have some new L cars. They completely updated it, so now we have 25th century L cars, which I'm here for.
Yeah, it's 2403.
Okay, I am with Michael on this. I am not here for this redesign because I would not want to work there because I would never be able to see a goddamn thing.
I would love it because I feel like it's like a way to like. Realistically, you can't stare at a screen too long, so you have to be in some sort of area that will relax your eyes, because anything that's too bright will just like make it hard for you to see eventually, right?
Well, we now
and
know
you wear these.
Starship.
Well, yeah, but this is me coming from like a place of, and not saying no one here gets on computers. We all get on computers, but
and
like
this is literally like how we know that William is the youngest person on this podcast.
Well, yeah, because it's just because it's like my whole videography business is the majority of the time, or making TikToks or whatever, is staring at a screen, and it gets a little tiresome. So what I normally do is not to soak in my depression, but I leave the lights off in my house because it hurts my eyes a lot of the time. Now, regular sunlight, no, it doesn't bother me. But like artificial light, and there's too much of it, oh god, it kind of bothers me.
I can handle a decent amount of screen time, but once I get into the evenings, and I like it a decent amount dark, but blue screen glasses, and I have to, or I get really bad migraines. But okay,
yeah.
William, I'm going to need you to get off my lawn. But yeah, all right. I'm sorry, Michael.
Oh, we're doing this again.
I mean, always.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we've talked about the visuals and we've talked about the redesign. I'm a big fan of this new asymmetric uniform. Mm-hmm. I mean, I really like it.
I'm liking this.
Is everyone really liking this? Because I feel like they went back to Generations with this uniform.
But they've gone back to Generations, but you'll notice there's a fold over, which is actually reminiscent of older, like actual military uniforms. And so I think that's actually pretty sharp. And I like the redesign of the Delta Shield.
The last time they
and it makes sense, right? Like the jumpsuit kind of style makes a little sense. But I think we're actually getting a jacket like garment for the women, so it's not just the men that get to be slightly more comfortable.
Yeah. Well, you see, everybody is wearing some sort of different type of clothing when you go further in, but like you see Riker in this like leather jacket, but it still has the pips on it.
Right. So that reminds me very much of late TNG's Picard jacket.
Yeah, and then of course Geordi's got his own different cut uniform, and I'm gonna say right now that he's Commodore LaForge. I'm gonna say he's in charge of Space Dock. Because they show Space Dock and they show them calling him up, and he's a Commodore, and Commodore is supposed to mean that you're in charge of more than one ship. But I could see him as being in charge of Space Dock.
He's still wearing yellow, just like Commodore or O did.
And also, by the great O'Brien, can he not be married to Leah Brahms?
Oh, he definitely is.
And
we see both of his daughters.
We see both of his daughters. I'm pretty sure Leah Brahms is not in the picture.
Well,
I have so many thoughts.
Maybe in the holodeck, just not in the picture.
Well, she's busy in Resurgence, so that's where you're going to see Leah Brahms if you play Star Trek Resurgence.
So we have the Enterprise F, which has been suggested that it's been in service for a little minute, because in the next shot, we have like all these other ships. We have 3 Sovereign class ships, a couple of Nebula. I think that's a Nebula.
Something is coming, and it's targeting Starfleet. All right, dude.
Oh dear God.
We have the Sagan class, which was introduced last season. That the the new Stargazer is a Sagan class. We see that to the right of the Enterprise there, and we see a couple others that we had seen in previous seasons.
All right, what else we got? Do you have a screenshot of the mysterious Troy, like in her fancy cloak?
Troy?
Yeah, there's a
there.
I mean, yes, we get Troy, but you'll note that there is actually like during one of the voiceovers, there is a woman in a red cloak that has Marina Sirtis's jawline. Which is one of the reasons.
The only person I saw a person wear a red cloak was Raffi.
I don't think that was Raffi, but I could be wrong. No, again, I only saw it once.
One point.
Hold on, I'm looking for the photo because Raffi, I don't know what's going on with Raffi, but I really want.
Well, we see her put something on her eye. Yeah, that's Raffi there.
Is that Raffi?
Yeah,
that's Raffi.
We see her in some sort of.
See, this is why we need light, people. This is why we need light. Yeah.
And
so what is this Jim Hadar contraption here for the eyes? What is
this? So they asked Trek Movie got an interview with Terry Matalas after this came out on Sunday, and they asked him about this specifically. And
are we stealing memories?
So they asked if this is just her having fallen off the wagon, her continuing her substance abuse, and he said, "Well, that's a good question," and that was the end of it. So
because we do know from the game, and yes, I'm going there, that we can have addictions to certain types of visual stimuli.
Absolutely,
it's true.
Okay, I didn't think of it like that. Okay, she relapsed.
Well, I was thinking that it might be her like encoding some type of message because she's been like doing this ominous walk, and I'm like, well, maybe she's trying to like store and steal information of some sort.
To the point where she gets into a match with Worf.
And also is apparently channeling her inner Jedi here.
Yeah, she's right out of Andor here.
Right? Right?
So, question, guys. Who is this?
That's acclaimed English actor Ed Speleers, known for Aragorn and
why does he look like Renee?
What's that other show? Downton Abbey.
Cool. Why does he look like Renee?
Well, he's a crew member on the Helios on Crusher's ship, which is not a Starfleet vessel.
So this is Picard's son.
He's 35 years old, and it's only been 24 years since Nemesis. So, I'm sorry, I said the naughty word.
You did.
But how long has it been? But how long has it been since All Good Things?
Are you saying that Picard and Crusher hooked up between All Good Things in the movies, and she had a baby?
Look. This is Star Trek. Anything could happen. All I know is that was the only time we saw them kiss.
We would revolt.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm done. I'm done with the Picard son storyline, guys. Like, we're done.
I mean, like,
okay.
All Good
Things was 2370. Nemesis. The last movie was 2379.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome, Marie. The last movie was 2379. It's now 2403 in the official timeline. So it's only been 24 years, and this is definitely not a 24-year-old actor. He is 35 in real life, and he looks 35.
And somewhere he's feeling very offended.
And does not like any of Picard's friends.
I mean, he looks like he has a grudge against Picard, but at the same time...
Well, look, he's holding a phaser at Riker's back at this bit in the trailer. So
yeah. Yeah, and then in later parts of the trailer, you see him wear a Starfleet comm badge.
Well, that's because he's on a Starfleet ship, and that's what you do. I mean...
Section 31, bitches. Section 31. That's what this is going to be.
Well, that could be, or, I mean, as Metalis said in the interview with Trek Movie, it's sort of a Doctors Without Borders kind of situation that Crusher is doing here, so...
Yeah, no, because which is a perfect place to put a Section 31 agent. Where's Jermaine when we need him?
I think he's swimming with the vampires right now. So
also, can we talk about how great she looks?
Oh God, yes.
I love her hair. I love it all, and I love the way she handles a rifle. Like
I was about to say, like they finally give Crusher a BFG here.
I mean, after being stuck in a whole different universe that her son placed her there, and sleeping with a ghost, she needs to handle a rifle. Like, seriously.
Well, what's hilarious is right after this trailer came out, she changed the profile pic on her Twitter account to this picture of her with the gun.
See, now that's a bad bitch right there. I like her.
I mean, I am 100% down with this, but can we also talk about how tired I am of the trust no one?
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta tell you, the lines that have been selected for this trailer are really tropey.
I mean, I just want to know what comes through that transwarp conduit in season 2. That's all I want to know.
Something is coming. There's a darkness. It's targeting Starfleet.
Hey,
trust no one. I'm like, I'm seriously like, I was watching. Okay, so in addition to the cool parts of the trailer, and there were parts I did like, obviously, but I'm watching this, and I'm going, I swear to God, like this trailer is telling me that Picard season 3 is going to be 90s, like primetime TV.
I'm here for it.
Is there something wrong with that?
I'm here. I'm a 90s buff. I love 90s.
So, yes and no. There are a lot of really wonderful things about 90s primetime TV, but then there are all those things like Viper and Mantis.
Mantis was good. Mantis was damn
Mantis
good.
had moments, but they wouldn't let it go as far as it could do, and I have real suspicions for that, and it is Black History Month.
Oh,
I'm gonna say that.
Okay. Well, before we get too far, so that's the ship that Trevor is on is Helios, which is the Greek deity personification of mercy, clemency, compassion, and pity, which seems fitting for a Doctors Without Borders ship. So
yeah, that part.
Yeah.
Here we go.
But then it's attacked by the Shrike,
which looks like it was lifted from Star Trek 2009.
Yes,
I mean that's what Romulans do, and they probably hijacked a Romulan ship.
Well, what are they called? All the Romulan ships have bird names, so Shrike it fits right along there with it.
I mean, I think we're going to see some angry Romulans in this. I really do.
I mean, because they have
and the Sycorax right out of the Doctor Who universe.
Oh my God!
How long has it been since the supernova?
That was 2387. So
it's been a minute.
Yeah,
it's been a minute, and they're still pissed about it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe this is the.
I'm sorry, 2389.
So maybe this is the season where we start seeing them migrate to Vulcan.
In fact, like the visual language surrounding the emergence of the Shrike is just 2009 Redux.
Yeah, definitely got that vibe. And she's definitely a more sinister Nero, which really throws some shade at Eric Bana.
I don't think that was his fault, guys.
No, it wasn't.
I really don't. I don't think that was I don't think that was an Eric Bana problem.
Well, it's like, hi, Christopher, how are you? When he first got on with the Enterprise.
Okay, so that was an Eric Bana problem. But
can I be honest? I don't know if it's the lines, if it's the spinning around in the chair. I just am not expecting much from her this season.
Well,
I don't even know who she is.
Chair.
Say it again.
I don't even know who she is. I know who the actress is, but I don't know who she is.
I have so many questions about whatever hulking monstrosity is behind her.
That she has a scar on her face and everything. Michael,
like, is that? I mean, are we gonna get like a legit Shellyak?
I mean,
that would be something.
I mean, that kind of looks a little like Encounter Suity to me.
I mean, these look
but
like
they have. It looks like they have 2 arms.
I mean, these look like the
to
brain.
To be fair,
like
though, like we don't actually know what the range of biodiversity in the Shellyak species actually looks like, because pretty much all we got was like an inflatable, like.
Yeah, it was a garbage bag that was twisting in the darkness.
Yeah, basically. But I am fascinated by the Shellyak, and I think it's a really interesting concept that it would be great for somebody to pull out and play with.
There was reference to them, I think, in Lower Decks this past season.
I mean, that's not meant to be scary at all.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
there's the Sycorax right there. Yeah.
Right.
Like I said, these are the Breen from Wish.
No.
Man.
No, these are the people that Peanut Happer done wrong on Lower Decks.
Yo!
That's what I was thinking.
Yes. The eco people. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Peanut Hamper
I would be
is that
100%
bitch. Like,
behind getting some of these, like, some additional, like, Lower Decks references in these other shows.
If they manage to do that, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna text.
Well, they already did. They already did Banana Hot in the last season of Discovery.
Really?
and of course we got the crossover coming up in Strange New Worlds.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Directed by Frakes, right? Like,
yes.
This is gonna be a thing.
This is gonna be a thing.
Like, I mean, that might be a 2 bottle of wine kind of episode.
all I want is crossovers the way they did the DC shows. That's all I want. Like,
no, we're not gonna get that.
I know, but it was so beautiful.
It's bad enough that they got to do temporal hijinks to bring Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds together, but
let's
not push it, because we definitely don't want to throw Discovery and Picard into the mix.
But also, can we have a conversation about how amazing it's going to be to see like Captain Pike and Beckett Mariner and Boimler?
Well, what's nice, it's going to be. we know it's Beckett Mariner and Boimler going into. And because Jack Quaid and Tawny Newsome actually look like their characters.
They do.
It works. It will work very well for them to appear.
Dawn looks like her character.
Well, she's not green, but yeah.
I mean, you know,
no,
like a grown
not Summers. That's Donna Summers. I'm thinking. What's the actress'
Dawn
name?
Wells.
Dawn Wells.
Wells. There you go. She looks like
Eugene Cordero a little bit like Samantha.
The only person on the cast that does not look like their character on Lower Decks is Rutherford's actor. He don't look like him at all.
I would say Gillian Vigman looks absolutely nothing like a giant walking cat.
Hello.
I mean, yeah, like true. Okay, cool.
And y'all, I gotta tell you, like, I feel like furries are the final frontier here.
Well,
I literally walked into that one because I remember Marina Sirtis said that a fan asked her, "How come y'all don't cast any non-humanoid characters?" Well, when we get any non-humanoid to come to audition, I'll let you know. And here we go, all cat and
a whole ass cat.
Well, we did find out recently that there will be a wedding in season 4 of Lower Decks, so maybe it's the good doctor marrying.
We got a wedding in the last season.
No, that was 2 seasons ago. That was
Yeah,
the
no.
first
I mean,
season.
there's
No, I meant when
whatever
Peter
happens.
Oh,
whatever
that's right. Yeah,
happens,
Peanut Happer's wedding. Yeah.
whatever
Yes,
happens,
we got a
that
gold
wedding is
wedding, we had
guaranteed to
Peanut
be
Happer's
an event. But yeah, so we've had some of we've had all of my opinions about the things that make me twitch about this about this particular this particular trailer. Anybody else? Is there anything else that didn't sit well with you guys?
I mean, I personally expected like another big character reveal at the end, like one more surprise. Keith and I talked about it last week. Like we were kind of hoping that there would be like one more thing. It ain't got to be much. It ain't even got to be big.
Well, we got one more thing. It's just we got Ed Spaliers, and it's like, okay.
Yeah,
you wanted Harry Kim. You wanted Garrett Wang.
I wanted Harry Kim. I needed him to be a captain. Like I needed to see
Never gonna happen.
The modern version of the Rhode Island in this trailer. I needed to see that. Like that's.
I just want to know. I really just want to know what it is that Garrett Wang must have done. You know,
like literally, you may be the captain someday, but not today.
Oh, we
like,
know he was. It was either him or Kess were going to be fired in season 3, and so instead of firing him, they just kept him as an ensign.
That is so insulting. Oh, not to mention they killed him. Can we talk about that?
Several
they killed
times.
him.
Yeah,
several times. Yeah,
several times. They literally did him damn near like they did O'Brien.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It would make the Asian guy suffer. Yeah,
that part. Like,
I mean, make the Asian guy suffer, make the Irish guy suffer.
Make the Middle Eastern woman suffer.
Not to get off topic, but I saw on TikTok, it went viral, and on YouTube, the part where Harry Kim stands up to Captain Janeway. Mm-hmm. It was when he fell in love with that one chick, and there was like a connection, and woo, woo, woo. And there was that one shot.
I'm gonna need that again. What was that?
It was
when they were.
Well, anyway, there was this camera shot, and it was so beautiful. The most beautiful camera shot I've ever seen, other than Unimatrix 1. But it was the most beautiful in-person shot. It went from the conference room to the bridge to the ready room. Like when she said, I told you to get treatment. I don't want treatment. Yeah, that traveling shot. He said, I don't want treatment in my ready room. And I was like, ooh. And Harry, he literally said it. He said, I've been ensign this long. I've been taking your orders. I've been here for 5 years. You gonna listen to me.
And she did take a moment and be like, okay, let me give you a little leave here because this is the first time we done let you actually be a person on screen.
And she tried to justify her. She tried to
and that's literally the thought process that's going on. Like, I mean, it is on Kate Mulgrew's face.
Like she literally tried to justify Harry's misery by the fact that she had to break up with her Mark. Like it was just like, okay, that ain't got nothing to do with Harry though.
He cheated on her, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't though. She was gone.
Oh yeah, he thought she was dead. So
yeah. I mean, like, I mean,
have we not heard?
Credit where credit is due. I feel checked out on cheating, guys. Like I do, and I'm not going to put that on that list.
Have we not heard? And this is in no way related to Marie's situation, but have we not heard of our army husbands and wives who thought that their loved ones were deceased and then they come back? They literally wrote plays and movies. Have you seen what was that movie called? Brothers? Like came back.
It's a trope.
Yeah, and they come back and then finds out that he fell. She
but
her brother.
Listen, I will just say have been going back to Harry. Like there have been several instances where we could just do a little name drop, and I pray that at least in Prodigy, the ship that took Gwen to wherever she was going to meet her people is a freaking whatchamacallit, is a Captain Kim, even if it's
the Rhode Island.
A quick comm badge. Thanks, Captain Kim. I'm here safe. All right. That's all we need.
I need Harry
we are sacrificing the captain of the Titan A, so theoretically we should be able to use that sacrifice to ask for something from the great Roddenberry and the great Bird of the Galaxy.
Well, can we talk
about the great Bird of the
the
Galaxy? Bless you and your infinite diversity.
Can we talk about the brief similarity between the first time that Jean-Luc captained the Stargazer and the first time that Seven will now captain the Titan, because both of their captains had died in combat, and so they had to step up and fill that role.
Like Rios.
Yeah, we just saw
Rios. Yeah,
she got the Battlefield Commission at the end of season 2 to become.
I like how low-key just impressed Michael. I like how I just low-key impressed him.
I know, right? I know, right?
I mean that goes. Oh, see, when one of us does this, like that's. I ain't gonna lie. I'm feeling myself right. I feel like I got a gay token and I'm here for it. I'm just happy. I'm just happy.
Well,
I love your validation.
Thank you.
There's a lot of rhymes in Star Trek.
Yeah,
anyway,
I love that there really are a number of very particular Star Trek tropes, and I like, for example, I became a captain because you died on a console, or I know you're gonna die because you just said nothing's gonna happen. Like,
you're definitely gonna die.
Or the majority of the people on this ship are, for some reason, orphans.
Yes. Also, we've got a lot of bald.
In this, I'm thinking
Are we
there's
getting
a reason for that.
Deltons?
No,
I thought she was a Delton.
We had a
and then I
bald.
saw
I mean, right? We've
Yeah,
got
the bald
and then I saw the pointed ears, and I said,
yeah. So I mean, and we know, or at least know from Star Trek 2009, that Romulans shave their heads and get tattoos when they're grieving,
which we never saw again.
Right?
And Laris did not do in Picard season 2 after.
This could be a
well,
Vulcan,
yeah, but you can't. But I'm sorry, but Laris was supposed to be a romantic lead, and you can't possibly take a bald chick.
And now we're not gonna. I think we're not gonna see Laris, right?
Oh no, she's not. She's not on the season. She left him. She ditched him because he turned her down.
Right. Okay. So,
all right.
Except she doesn't. Except he doesn't turn her down. That's literally the point of the end of the.
Yeah.
That was the Picard Martha moment.
Yeah.
He finally He always found love. It was just his first time accepting love.
Right.
He's a captain. He has to find love. Thanks, Kirk.
Anyway, so we're going to see this guy again.
But we do get Moriarty. I am super excited about this.
And it looks like, and it's not just a case of he just pops up in a corner. As you see, we go into this special room, and he calls them old, which is really something coming from him.
I mean, he is mad, man. Like, I mean, we are getting that great sort of Zack Snyder, grimdark, terrifying lighting.
I'm kind of hoping that, because by this point, like, come on, if you can't figure out a way to put a hologram on his or their own, or get a body or make a body, come on. It took me a while, but when I was thinking about lore, I was like, how the hell did he become human? And then I thought about, oh wait, we literally just
is that lore?
No, that is lore. That is definitely lore.
That's lore.
He's not human.
He's not human. They made a body for him.
No, I mean, it was said in Next Generation that they were designed to age. And I must say, the way the hair looks so much better on him than that bad wig they did in season 1.
Oh my god!
Because that wig was horrible.
And I guess they decided to he gets a spray tan.
Well, what I'm saying is they made the android. Well, the synthetics are look.
So what you're saying is Laura decided that he was a Southern woman going to a wedding.
Look, all I know is Laura, and he will find a way to get. What he wants.
This is lore. We know he's got issues with appearance, as evidenced in every appearance in Next Generation.
Right. I mean, and we also know that this is lore, so he is, capital up to no good.
Okay. Now, there is a detail about lore that one of our sister Trek channels on YouTube got wrong in their review of this.
Point it out.
Okay, so we know from the episode of Next Generation Brothers when Lore and Data show up at Noonien Soon's home that he was preparing to install the emotion chip into Data, but Lore did the switcheroo and got the emotion chip installed in himself. And then when Lore was deactivated in Descent Part 2 at the beginning of Season 7, that chip was then removed, and we were told it was damaged and would never work again, but magically worked a year later in Generations when it got a $1 million glam up to be this.
Right?
It looked like
it went from a miniature Pac-Man to being like a piece of shredded wheat, and suddenly Geordi's able to put it in Data and work. Now, Sean Farrick over at Trek Culture said that Lore lost his emotions because the chip was taken away. No, Lore had the emotions in his system. There wasn't a chip for emotions. It was in his system.
It was already part of him.
It was Data's emotion chip that was put inside of Lore. So it's sort of a redundant system for him.
Except there was also additional information programmed
there's
onto that
memories
ship,
and things. Yeah,
which is what Lore actually wanted.
yes.
I mean, other than to take something from Data.
So yeah, on 2 separate videos on Trek Culture, Sean Ferrick made that mistake of saying that Lore should not have emotions because the chip was removed. But no, he had them already.
Yeah.
The chip does not grant that. So.
Right.
Come on, point that
Much
out.
love for you, Sean Ferrick, but you got that one wrong.
So what else? So go ahead, Michael. What did he say?
Michael, we can't hear you.
Oh, I said, Sean Ferrick, just leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think.
Like, subscribe, follow. Yeah.
Exactly.
You have 250,000 followers. You can share some with us.
Yeah. You should at least 1%.
Right.
Come on.
Like, so it looks like their ship. It looks like the Titan was boarded, and it looks like we're gonna have like some.
Oh yeah.
It looks like they have a budget for a decent battle.
Well,
like,
we see several ships, and then we see a few. We saw at one point Picard leaning over as the ship is exploding, and that's not the Titan there.
That's not the Titan.
That's a different ship, and it's not the Helios, it's not the Enterprise F, it's something else.
I think that's Geordi's ship.
Maybe.
Because yes, he's Commodore, but at the same time, he is literally on the view screen looking all pissed, right?
Yeah.
And then we come to this shot, and then Picard holds his hand over. I'm guessing Geordi is already on the Titan at this point. And then something happens, and the other ship, which is probably Cloaked, that bitch's ship, destroys this one. And it's like, oh my god, because you see throughout the trailer that it's pretty apparent that a lot of people are going to die in this season.
Oh, of course.
I mean, it's the final journey. No, really, guys, this one's really final.
Yes, it's like Kiss.
Right.
We really mean it
before we do another reunion tour.
Oh, and speaking of final reunion tours, we did hear that there was one musician who was going to do his final Goodbye I Mean It tour, but then announced yesterday, you know what? No, I'm not doing it, and canceled the whole tour.
Damn.
That was Ozzy
Osbourne, yeah.
But and in some of the shots we have of Geordi where it seems to be him, he is joined by his actual real life daughter, Micah Burton, playing Ensign Alandra LaForge.
I think her face gets shoved into a force field.
No, that's her sister. That's Ensign Sydney LaForge, who is the helmsman on the Titan A.
Period.
Because
she's on. I mean, but Micah's on Critical Role.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen.
This was her first time acting with her father, and so she got to do scenes together for this.
Okay.
That's it. Bring the family in. A family affair.
Now, of course, this does the thing that Star Trek often does too often, and so does a certain other star-based sci-fi series, where it should be a pretty wide galaxy universe, but it's actually pretty small because the same people keep popping up in everything, or their kids, or you have Demora Sula on the Enterprise B, and you've got Alandra LaForge, and Sydney LaForge on the Titan.
All right. Fair play to that. And I have also been fairly critical of that other Starbase franchise for this. But I don't know how much time you've spent with the military, but like that shit is nepotistic as fuck.
Oh yeah.
It actually happens.
Yeah. So that actually doesn't surprise me. And that actually feels almost organic.
Okay. But I just look at that you have thousands of ships and
yeah, like you would totally like call your old buddy and be like, "Hey, I would like to put my kid on your ship. Can you watch after them?"
Okay, I see that. Yeah.
So no, I think that, I mean, that is why I say that it is nepotistic, and that is completely does not shock me at all.
That part. Guys, I think we got a couple of more. There's your hallway corridor battle right
Here's your mandatory 7 with a gun.
I don't know how many times
your mandatory red alert shot.
Right.
I don't know how many times we've seen this shot. I could have sworn I've seen this in season 2.
I kind of like the way they do red alert on this ship. That really is every light surface that lights up. It's not just
you gonna know.
I mean, exactly. Like, you are not gonna miss this, man.
You're not gonna miss this.
You are not gonna miss.
You're not gonna be cleaning the floors with your headphones on and your shades on and not know this is red alert.
And then all of a sudden, like, the Borg boards, and you're like, what?
What just happened? Like,
yeah, it's not gonna be like that episode of Lower Decks where Sam Rutherford accidentally turned down the speaker in their cargo bay.
I do want to kind of point out that they did kind of bring back some a TOS style combat-esque type thing.
Well, that's his special head of Starfleet Academy badge that we saw at the beginning of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
He's taking off work. He's taking off work to do this. Got it.
Well, no, he's doing an inspection, and of course, just like we saw in the Wrath of Khan, the inspection does not go
well.
No, I mean, anytime somebody says it's a shakedown cruise, this is again another Star Trek specific trope. So if you're like, if they say it's a shakedown cruise, you're like, oh, you're fucked.
Yeah, the Enterprise B at the beginning of Generations, the Enterprise in Star Trek 2. Yeah,
it's like no, you are in trouble. Like the Klingons, the Borg, something's showing up. Something.
Yeah.
Seems like they get all the easy assignments.
This feels very much like that shot of the bridge feels very, very much like the alternate Enterprise D from
Yesterday's Enterprise.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
My favorite episode of Next Generation.
Really? Because the whole inclusion of Tasha just hurt.
I mean, hey.
It did, but that's what made it really good to me.
So
I'm not saying that it hurt like me emotionally. It just hurt because it was a painful inclusion.
Really?
Tasha Yar is coming back. You know that, right?
No, no. Denise Crosby is in the season somewhere. We don't know where, but she's not Sela. That's all we know.
Yeah. And I actually ended up getting a chance to talk to the writer of Yesterday's Enterprise on that issue.
Really?
Yeah. He ended up I did a whole review of Yesterday's Enterprise, and I was like, there's so many things I love about this, but like the whole like romance with Tasha is just painful. And like, I don't know why this is a whole thing. And he was, and like this guy comments, he's like, well, it was literally written. Like, I literally wrote this episode as a vehicle for that. I was like, well,
bad idea.
It didn't land, man. It didn't land.
So,
but, I mean, but it really was a really lovely opportunity to talk and like have and sort of discuss like the writing process and the decision-making process that went behind it.
Right. Guys, we are at hour 7, and yeah, this was great. We actually, we did it. Like,
William impressed me. I am like, it's just been a beautiful time.
Yes, the young beautiful gay impressed the.
I'm gonna need you to press the beautiful bean footage now. I'm done.
Oh.
No, go.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to ever say it on the internet. Yeah, never. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wait. There was a shadow of a church.
Okay. What?
William has questionable
I didn't
ideas
catch
about
that
what he
one.
puts. William has questionable ideas about what he puts on the internet.
Oh, I remember that episode.
Uh-huh.
I remember that episode. Yeah.
Wait. What? Wait.